Happy Thanksgiving week, everyone. Excited for the opportunity, great opponent as we head down to Albuquerque to put a close on the regular season. Extremely proud of the effort by the program to honor our seniors the other night. Really pleased with all three phases. Obviously, there's areas that we're always looking to clean up, having the humility to know that we can grow and improve even at this late stage of the year. But it was great to see our guys own the plan, execute the plan through the adversity of the night with various things, different factors, to watch them respond. Staff, as well, was really pleased with that. Really grateful for the response of our fans to show up and to be a part of it. Really grateful for the response of our fans with our matching campaign that we've launched with the Finish the Climb. We're approaching $200,000 through the weekend, which is great. When we hit that million mark, our anonymous donor is going to match that $1 million and help us be able to boost our recruitment and retention efforts, which is critically important as the portal inches closer and closer, and the cost of a championship team is certainly not going down. So again, thank you for everyone, your support, helping us finish the climb, the people who are buying tickets, and all the different ways that everyone is supporting us. So great opponent this week. Coach Eck and his staff have done a tremendous job at New Mexico. They're in year one. They're a physical outfit. They're a disciplined club. They really respect and honor each phase of the game. It shows when you turn on the tape, and excited for the opportunity as we head down there on a short week to go have a really physical fight.
You and Coach Eck are Wisconsin, right? Is there anything to infer from that kind of a matchup as far as coaching approach?
I mean, we both were able to obviously learn from a Hall of Famer and Coach Alvarez and our time there. I think there's probably some similarities in terms of our approach and our style. That the brand of ball that our guys play with the physicality and the discipline that you see. He's done a tremendous job everywhere that he's been, and it's no surprise that he's having great success there now.
Is it unique because it seems like New Mexico and Wyoming have the toughest job of all in the conference because there's hardly any D1 kids in state to recruit? Do you view that as amazing that these teams have been able, on given years, to do really well?
I probably haven't been in the league long enough to have a great historical perspective on, those states and the prospects that come out of there. But, again, that's kind of the advantage of the portal that we have now, right? Like in the transient nature of the sport to where you can kind of have a wider reach. And, again, I think great coaches adapt to the spots where they're at. There's enough things that I'm worried about in my own house to know the challenges that are in someone else's home. But, again, it's pretty apparent that, both staffs at Wyoming and at New Mexico are doing a really good job.
What's your relationship with Coach Eck been through the years? You guys trade notes through the years, or how close have you guys been?
Not that close. He was there at Wisconsin before I was. We've gotten to know each other, obviously, through the recruiting trail and everything. We have crossed paths briefly. Obviously, know some of his staff members that we now have on our staff and everything, right? So, but we know of each other. I know we're more professional acquaintances than we are anything else. So.
What kind of challenges does this week present with it being a short week and then like a noon kickoff when you guys are used to 7:30s?
Yeah, I mean, again, a lot gets made about the time. We practice each morning, every single day, right? So we're used to going early. In terms of the 6-day prep, we still need to get 7 days worth of work in 6 days. The probably unique opportunity that we have is how we manage the work this week, given that this will be our 6th straight game in a row. They've been really physical battles that we've been in. And so just making sure that we're mentally where we need to be, physically we are where we need to be, and having the approach that we need to have relative to the work that needs to get done, yet still be ready to go play on Friday, and being smart with the work and how we need to get that done. So yeah, again, lots of caffeine, sleep fast, and maximize the hours that you do have. And then luckily we have a very mature team, right, that's been through this from when we turned around as we played Colorado State on a short week, learn from those lessons, right? And our guys do a great job knowing and understanding that this plan is literally going to be tinkered with, and there's going to be pieces of it that get put in place, pretty much all the way up until game day, so that we can comb through the tape and put together a great plan in all three phases as we go.
How do you balance that as a coach of needing to make sure the prep is right, but also knowing that at this point in the season, everyone's probably dealing with something? I doubt there's anybody that's actually 100%.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have a good pulse of where your club is at and kind of know where your guys are at and what they're managing and what they're dealing with, right? And at this point in time, we're a physical club. I think that's been pretty apparent, right, every single time that we go out. And so you weigh the risk reward, right? You kind of got to have to do that cost benefit analysis of what is another good on good normal down and distance period going to be, and the benefit of that versus, having more scout time and really getting intimate to know what they're going to do and how we fit that and how we defend that and how we attack that. So, you just kind of go period by period and again, kind of talk with a really smart staff and lean on them. Like, do we need this piece or can we do without, and maybe take this time and we use it in a different way so that we can put together the best plan for how we're going to prepare this week.
The job's not finished yet, obviously, but you guys have put yourself in a position where you win and you're hosting a Snapdragon. How good does it feel that the process had led you to now it's in your court for you guys to go out there and win it?
I've had great belief in how we go about it, right? And I was really proud of the way that we handled our process this morning. There's a lot of work that needs to get done today. Our guys got to go wear out the training room. Our guys got to wear out the tape. They got to finish their finals and exams and presentations here as campus is coming to a close for the holiday break, and do all that the right way so that we can have a great single-minded focus to finish the season the right way.
Sean, if you could pick an adjective or an adverb to describe your defense, the metrics nationally are just superb. What would be a word to describe what this thing has become?
Elite. There's only a handful of defenses that are performing and show up and compete each and every single day that yield the elite results that our defense has. So elite and humble, right? Because they continue to get better. They've owned the plans that we've put in place and the way that we've had to go about building defense each and every single week. It's a tremendous job by the humility of the staff to share ideas, and it's a great leadership by Rob and the way that he's led the staff and he's led the players to put together a unit that, in my opinion, is truly elite. And I hope that obviously there's going to be some votes here. I hope Rob gets recognized as a Broyles semifinalist or finalist here as we come down, because there's no one more deserving of that honor in the country, in my opinion.
This short week's different than the others because Thursday's Thanksgiving. Can you kind of go through what Thursday's going to be like for you guys?
Yeah, we'll have kind of our normal travel day. It's unique, the lifestyle that we've all chosen, that we've signed up for, to where, we'll do our normal travel walkthrough, our normal meetings and prep here in the building, and we'll get down to Albuquerque safely. And then when we get down there, we'll have Thanksgiving dinner together in the hotel. And obviously, we're pretty proud of the connection that we've created within this culture and within this football family. So we'll give thanks together and, interwove the holiday fun with our football business. And again, like we talked about, the work is the reward. So it's very rewarding to get to do this great work. I'm very thankful for the opportunity to do this work and to serve our program. And pretty neat to be doing that at a really meaningful level on Thanksgiving Day.
Is that a team dinner, or do families who will have traveled for the game get to be involved in some way, or would that be at a different time?
That'll be at a different time. But our staff knows that if they want loved ones to come with, luckily we have great support of our administration and they're able to come. So some will choose to, stay back here and do kind of the traditional family Thanksgiving meal. I think some of our staff will celebrate that on Wednesday, right, to be able to do that collectively together. Me and my wife are still trying to figure out what our plans are. No, we didn't have a turkey.
Do you have a favorite dish at all?
Yeah, I love a good green bean casserole. I love the good Ruth's Chris sweet potatoes dish with side, good mac and cheese. I prefer a good ham over a turkey. I know it's probably a controversial take, but I'll throw it out there. I think Thanksgiving's an overrated meal. I love the fellowship, but I think Thanksgiving's an overrated meal, right? We've all probably done the, hey, it's your last meal on, ever, right? Like, what would you have? I've never heard in any of those conversations, those hypotheticals, someone say, hey, Thanksgiving dinner. Like, it's the traditions and the fellowship I absolutely love. The meal itself, like, give me a good ribeye and I'll enjoy that. Pies, give me all the pies. I do enjoy the pies, absolutely.
Hey, Sean, I got a question about flipping programs. The structure, you have your philosophy of how to do this.
Sure.
Has this been easier and different to do than what you accomplished at Kent State? Because maybe there has been a long tradition of winning here, whereas Kent was 1,000 years before you got there.
I don't know if I necessarily look at it like one was easier, one was harder. You guys know me well enough that like I understand the work that needs to get done, and you go do it, and you find the ways to find the solutions. I think too often, we find all these excuses for why something can't happen, or roadblocks or obstacles why it can't happen, no matter if it was, at a previous spot or this spot, as opposed to finding those solutions, having great people around you, being willing to roll up your sleeves and establish a culture and a mindset and energy and a passion to do it. So they've been unique, right? Like they both have a unique, different set of opportunities that needed to be solved. And the tradition here, the pride in the program here was one of the greatest things that, as a young kid growing up in the Midwest, like I knew about the Aztecs, right? Like I didn't know much about very many West Coast teams, but you knew the legacy of the Aztecs. And that was something that was really cool when this whole process started, and to have the opportunity, and again, the great honor to sit in the seat that I do and to walk by Coach Coryell's, statue each morning and ask him like, hey, I hope we're making you proud. Like, if you got any wisdom for me, please let me know. Sometimes he talks back. Maybe that's just a lack of sleep, but I would like to think he's listening to me, right? And I think that's really neat to have the people that care the way that we do here. And I'm excited, for the continued support of the community to show up and pack Snapdragon when we get the opportunity to do so.
Do you see? Sorry, go ahead.
What did he say back when he did answer?
Just keep doing what you're doing. It's like, I think you're trying to, you're doing right. You're giving your all and figure it out. He said, maybe there's some magical, 3-level flood concepts that he threw up on the board that I can steal from him.
You say, watch out for spies on the hill.
He didn't mention anything about the spies on the hill. We did have a drone at one point flying over our practice, though, and as a paranoid ball coach, we paused practice and made sure that we weren't being filmed in that regard a little bit earlier in this season.
Did you ever find out where it was from?
No, we stopped, it zoomed off, and on we went.
Do you see anything on tape from your opponent, offense and defense, that gives you concern?
Yeah, a ton. Yeah, they have an unbelievable front defensively. They have a whole host of issues that they present. They're really, really talented. They stress you out with formations. They trade you. They motion you. They'll huddle. They'll go fast. They have one-word calls. They have trickeration. They've returned multiple kickoff returns for touchdowns. They've, hurt teams in all phases, in all ways. It is a cornucopia of problems that I see when I turn on the tape as we go. So there's a bunch. They're well coached, they're disciplined, they're physical, they know their scheme intimately. Their quarterback is well prepared and gets them to premium looks. He does a really good job in the RPO game. So yeah, there's a bunch. There's a bunch that's there that makes this a really great opportunity for us to go compete at a high level against a really, really good opponent.
In a game like this, the opponents appear evenly matched, and so that would make turnovers and ball security.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You've seen it from our games when we valued the football. It's been more advantageous for us, and you can look at, the games that have been close or the games where they've come up short. You can look at the turnover margin, and it's, again, one of those premium metrics, right? That the game's so important. They named it after the ball. So we better take care of it. We better take it away. You got a better chance of having success when you do that.
Any concern about ghosts of past failures, aka Washington State, Hawaii?
We get the opportunity to go prove, right, that we're a good team on the road. I think those are great opportunities, great fuel for the fire that enhance our focus and let us know, again, that the job's not finished here, right? That it narrows our purpose, it narrows our focus to have an approach because, the last time we went on the road, not great, right? And we all know, you're only as good as your last performance in this deal, and we're going to be judged by what this one is and wouldn't have it any other way.
Is there anything you identified in those 2 losses on the road that you could learn from?
The very first one, I think there was a lack of humility in the club. That's been corrected from the week 1 to week 2. Our guys have remained humble. They've remained hungry. In the second one, we had a lot of really good players for the very first time that weren't playing, and we needed guys to step into roles that they hadn't been accustomed to. So, again, I think we've learned from that. And, as much as I'd love to win every single game, I also recognize and understand that everything that has happened to this team is, in my opinion, truly working for us and allowing us to become the best version of ourselves. And we get to have the opportunity to do that again today and tomorrow and all the things that continue to pop up, right? Like they're working for our favor, and we get to learn those lessons. And as long as we continue to pour into and have that learner's mindset and to grow, then, to me, they're not losses. I know they show up as L's on the record, and I would love for that to be a clean sheet, right? But I truly believe this team has embraced the idea that we either we win or we learn. And even in the wins, there's still margins that we need to chase. And obviously, when we've came up short, we've responded properly, and we have to continue to take from those lessons and grow as we move forward.
I think Washington State was coming off of barely beating Idaho. Does lack of humility mean you guys maybe took them for granted in some way?
I think we thought we were so much better than we were, and maybe didn't respect, the process of winning and respect the opponent at the level that we needed to. And those are all things that internally we've controlled and that we've been hyper focused on. And again, that's just, how this team has matured. Which to me, I say that in a very positive light, right? Hey, we started out pretty young, and in terms of our competitive maturity, we weren't at the level that we needed to be. But as this team has grown and as the days have passed, and we've taken steps to reach the summits that we believe we're capable of, we've matured. Our competitive maturity has matured, our competitive spirit has matured, and now we need to learn how to continue to go to work when maybe we're not feeling our best, right? That's what it is. And again, that's the beauty of this game, it gets to teach you about life and how to persevere and how to overcome and how to, kind of go through that success loop that Jim Collins talks about in Good to Great, right? To where hey, we set on a goal, I think I have a plan, I come up short, I learn from it, and I go again as we move through it all. That's the nature of learning and growing that this team has done.
Is it almost better to learn that lesson in week 2 rather than week 7?
I think so. I think sequencing matters, right? I don't, who knows what it is against Cal if we don't have that moment against Wazoo. As I sit here, again, I think everything that has happened for this team has been for a purpose and on purpose and is working for our purpose of this team to grow and become the best version of themselves.
If you finish this thing 10-2, what is the most surprising aspect of being 10-2 to you from who you would have been when we talked to you in August?
I don't know if there's anything about it that would surprise me, right? Because when we talked back in August about it, I didn't want to put a ceiling on this club and on this team. I think the thing that's been most impressive is, again, just the rate at which they've matured, right? There's been tremendous growth. Again, what we just talked about, right? From week 1 to week 2, and then to grow from 2 to 3, and then to go on a 6-game run that, we won a lot of different ways, and then to overcome injuries and adversity and to persevere and to continue to mature and to continue to adapt as a staff to the personnel that we have so that our scheme is pliable and flexible to be able to do that. I think it's just a tremendous effort by all the people in the program, which isn't surprising because we have great people, right? Staff and players alike. They're probably more proud than surprised by anything, right? Probably more proud.
Do players and coaches get into all the possible scenarios of what could happen this weekend, or is it pretty easy to just focus on winning you're in?
Again, we can control what we can control. So, job's not finished. We got to finish the job of the regular season and do that the right way.
Anything else for Coach?
One other question. With a chance to host the Mountain West Conference Championship game, and having sat there and seen 15,000 people show up in the stadium for a 10-2 team is kind of staggering, considering the Aztecs at one point during the fall years when our broadcasting drew 48 and 50,000. What do you say to the Aztecs for life? Because you put the product on the field and they have not come at all. Is there something you can sales pitch them as to their emotional responsibility, their alma mater?
I think that we've presented, not a sale. I think we've presented that we have a pretty special club, and no two better historical references than the two of you here to tell me. You guys have better knowledge than me. When was the last time that the city of San Diego had an opportunity to host a championship event? I don't know when that is. At home, right? So a decade ago, right? So we have an opportunity in a decade in a sports crazed town with over 300,000 living Aztec alum that are in San Diego County. 1 in 7 graduates in San Diego County is an Aztec for life. It'd be pretty cool for everyone to show up and show out if and when we earn the opportunity to do that, right? So be present, be focused here and now. And I know that the community that loves football, that loves the Aztecs, and loves sports will show up for a championship moment when we do our part, if we do our part, and we respect the process, we respect our opponent, and we do what needs to be done for 4 quarters to earn the right to win. That'll be fun to maybe give a pitch then.